As we began this week, most of the talk was dominated with the prospect of reopening business across the country and in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. As we worked to interpret Governor Wolf's stoplight plan, it became apparent that, like so much of the information that has been provided both at a national and state level throughout this crisis, that the plan was still a bit of a moving target. Speaking of reopening, within the PRLA team and board officers group, we also began the work of reimagining our organization and how it can best serve our decimated industry post-COVID-19. On Monday, Governor Wolf announced that golf courses, marinas, guided fishing trips, and privately owned campgrounds could open on May 1st, but are required to follow updated life-sustaining business guidance. Our friend, Senator Camera Bartolotta, was featured in the Observer Reporter with an op-ed highlighting the need for additional support of the restaurant industry. The Pennsylvania House of Representatives, in an almost unanimous vote, passed PRLA-supported House Bill 327. This legislation would allow R&H alcohol licensees impacted by the COVID-19 crisis to sell mixed drinks for off-premise consumption. In addition to the Pennsylvania Restaurant Promise, which PRLA released last week, this week our partners at the National Restaurant Association issued new guidance for reopening restaurants, which provides a basic summary of recommended practices that can be used to help mitigate exposure to the COVID-19 virus. The document is meant to be used in conjunction with instruction operators receive from authorities during their reopening phase-in. The National Restaurant Association also launched a new nationwide grassroots campaign to encourage Congress to support the Restaurant Blueprint for Recovery, which was outlined in PRLA's letter to the Hill last week. I think most everyone recognizes that our industry has been hardest hit by the effects of this horrific crisis and needs significantly more assistance if we are to recover. On the hotel front, we signed onto a letter with our partners at the American Hotel and Lodging Association and the Asian American Hotel Owners Association to enable relief for hotels currently financed with commercial mortgage-backed securities, CMBSs. Also, AHLA launched Safe Stay, an initiative focused on enhanced hotel cleaning practices, social interactions, and workplace protocols to meet the new health and safety challenges and expectations presented by COVID-19. The Safe Stay Advisory Council, comprised of leading hotel companies, will develop enhanced cleaning and safety standards. Additionally, this week, the Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture adopted temporary FDA food labeling policy. State food safety inspectors will allow restaurants and food manufacturers the flexibility to sell bulk foods and ingredients to their customers without the usual labeling requirements. On another subject, there have been concerns raised about potential COVID-19 related liability for businesses after reopening. This week, State Senator Pat Stefano proposed PRLA-supported legislation that would provide liability protection for businesses. The popular SBA Paycheck Protection Program, which received additional funding late last week, is expected to run out of money again over the next day or so. We continue to work with our congressional delegation and our partners in Washington to make necessary fixes to this program. The city of Philadelphia, the state's epicenter for the virus, increased fines for violating business closures and social distancing. While admittedly there's not a lot of good news these days, let me end by saying the PRLA board just concluded its first virtual meeting in this new world of ours. We had almost 100% attendance, and the board authorized a new membership program with reduced dues that will help open our resources to even more independent restaurants and small hotels. And throughout this crisis, when we're needed most, we are treating the entire hospitality community as members of the Pennsylvania Restaurant and Lodging Association, regardless of ability to pay membership dues. Be safe and stay well. Till next week, I'm John Longstreet with this edition of It Happened This Week.